What if when you ask me a question, I don't remember my answer? I can't think.
Then I'll just quickly move along.
Oh my God, this is making me really anxious.
Do some vocal warm-ups, the goofy.
Maybe I need to have another drink.
Do you want to do a shot?
Probably.
Let's do a shot.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I am so thrilled to be welcoming on the One More Time podcast R&B singer, songwriter, superstar. It's Jhené Aiko in the building.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, I mean, I thought so.
Did you ask Google about that one?
I Googled it.
Okay.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, all jokes aside, we got all those accolades, honestly. We got SadBoi.
SadBoi.
Crybabies, where you at?
Is that the name for your fans? Crybabies?
Yes, Crybabies.
I love that.
How do they respond to that?
They love it.
They love it.
Mm-hmm. They really love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, when I was like, "Oh my God, I love my Crybabies," I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna hate this. They're gonna think this is so stupid." But they actually love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see that, working perfect. And why don't all artists have a name for their fans?
Don't get me started. I mean, at this point, I'm a Barb, I'm a Swiftie.
Oh my God.
And now I'm a Crybaby.
Crybaby's cooler than both of those, I think.
Heavy on a Barb.
Yes.
Okay.
Heavy on being a Barb.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about being a Swiftie? Not so heavy.
much.
I love Taylor Swift.
Okay. So
Yeah.
all right. Wow. Okay. So you're all three of those things as well.
She didn't say I'm a Swiftie. She said I love Taylor Swift.
Is there a
No,
distinction?
I'm a Swiftie.
Okay.
And they're both Sages.
Oh, and are you Sag?
Yeah.
Oh,
man,
gosh.
You're in good company.
All right. Let's get this going. So I was trying to research. I always like to prepare. I like to be as, prepared as possible for these interviews. And I was like, there's not that much on SadBoi out there on the internet. No. And then I found you. Then I fucking found you because your artist name used to be Ebony. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't fucking play with me. I was like, okay, I was almost ready to give up. I was like, oh, fuck it. We're just, maybe she's brand new, never done this artist thing before, and she's just popping off.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, Ebony. We found you. So I want to start by just understanding, what was what prompted the name change, and why go through that and become SadBoi? What are we trying to achieve with this?
I'm so sorry. Saying Ebony, as my artist name, it sounds so crazy to me.
Why?
Well, Ebony is my real name.
Oh,
but I just feel like it's
her
been
government.
So long. Yeah, you really.
I just put
my
you
whole
out.
Gubby. I was just like,
all right. Complex Magazine put you out. Pitchfork, popular. I'm not. The One More Time podcast is not putting your government out there. It's been.
Well, Ebony is my real name.
Okay.
I started out on YouTube. I was doing YouTube covers when I was 11.
What was your first cover?
Keisha Cole Love.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Yeah.
I did it for a contest, and I just kept doing YouTube covers, but it was to get in these little contests. So in Toronto, we have this thing called C&E, and it's an amusement park, kind of what you guys be doing here, every now and then. But they actually be having talent shows. So that was my way into the talent show. You had to upload a YouTube cover. And then I made it in the talent show. And I was like, damn, people actually kind of like it. But I didn't really notice at the time.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, I actually just enjoyed singing to the camera. And I kind of just kept doing YouTube covers. And I just kept doing that. And then I started working with this producer-songwriter. His name's Sammy. And we worked on a bunch of stuff until I was 16, 17.
Oh, damn.
And then I moved to Atlanta, and I was basically solo. It was just my mom and I, we moved to Atlanta. And I was very dependent on him because it was very much he would produce, he would write the songs. So I felt I really really him. And that was my first time actually working on my ones, just doing everything by myself. Mm-hmm. So it was a struggle because it's just things weren't working out. But at the same time, I was able to find myself in a way because I was writing my own stuff, right? And I was working with new people, and I was figuring out what I liked and what I didn't like. So then I got to a place November, where I was damn, I'm gonna change my name to SadBoi. But that's a whole story why I changed my name to SadBoi.
So, were you sad about what was happening in life, with this whole move and stuff?
No. So the more I started writing music, it kind of just became a journal. Like I would just like write about things that like I wouldn't necessarily talk about. And I was listening back to the songs, and I actually kind of like was going through this things where I was like, damn, like it was kind of like a moment where like I think like every artist kind of has this where they're like, damn, like something needs to change because something's obviously not working. And you kind of go through this like phase or like this point where you're just like, okay, I'm figuring out like who I am, or like, you know, like what I like and what I don't like and like what I stand for and all that stuff. So I just felt like Ebony didn't fit anymore. And I just felt like the biggest thing was like my artist name. So I actually went back, and we were actually sitting, it was my mom and my stepdad, and we were all sitting in the kitchen, and we were like driving home, and we're like, damn, like what's a name? Like what's a really good name? And we were like thinking of all these crazy names.
What were some of the ones that didn't make the list, or like, you know, that didn't make the cut?
Because I know like a big inspo was like Lady Gaga.
Okay,
sure.
Hey,
so
she's a big inspo for me.
So I was like, damn, like what's something that could stand beside Lady Gaga? So I was just like looking up like a bunch of stuff, but nothing like fit. And then I went to shower, and I went upstairs, and my stepdad was like, I have a name. And I was like, what's the name? And he's like, SadBoi.
Ooh.
And I was like, SadBoi? Like, people are going to think I'm like, you know, like a boy. And then he's like, well, that's so fire. I'm like, what about Sad Girl? And my best friend was with me too. And he looked at me, he's like, I like Sad Girl. And I was like, no, Sad Girl doesn't hit. And I'm like, I think SadBoi. And I just fell in love with that name. And I think like just like recognizing like the people that support me, and, you know, like even like the stuff I wrote about, because it came from a song.
Okay,
like
what?
SadBoi.
Yeah,
it
like
came
what?
From a song.
What was the song about?
So it was about a sad boy. It was about this boy who
very
broke
on the
my
nose.
heart.
Obviously, Ben.
Very on the nose.
Yeah, it was
okay, I
about
didn't know.
a boy who like broke my heart, and he was just like into partying, into drugs, and like just wasn't treating me well. And like in my mind, like I just felt like he was really sad, because I guess like people would say like battling demons.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like he was going through so much, and he was like just sad deep down. So it wasn't necessarily like, you know, like me. I wasn't the problem, but I definitely think it was like a him issue. And I just kept saying SadBoi, SadBoi, SadBoi. So that's really like where it came from.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it sounded like there was, you know, you had your music career, it was starting, you were doing covers, you were doing talent shows, etc. But like something wasn't working to your satisfaction, right? Like when you made the shift, did the music change as far as like the you know, themes you were writing about, or like, you know, the way you were singing? Like I guess what changed with the name?
I honestly think like just me being myself. I think like it was just like, again, like I was writing my own music, you know, like I was writing about like my own experiences. Like every single night, like I'd be in my bathroom, like I write in my bathroom. So I'd be in my bathroom sink, and I'd be writing about like whatever happened that day. So it's very specific to like what I was going through. It wasn't like someone else's story or anything like that. So I think that was like a big, like that was the big, like, you know.
It became real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so interesting though, right?
Yeah.
She goes from her real name.
I know.
Yeah, to not a real
fake name.
But the stories are
but
real.
the stories convert from not fake stories necessarily, but just not your stories, to then your stories, but with the different name. It sounds so
crazy, right?
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive,
but it makes sense.
It's kind of funny though, because a lot of people be like, "Is SadBoi an alter ego?" And I'm like, "No, SadBoi is really me.
Yeah.
Like, this is not an alter ego."
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. Is like, you know, we talk about this a lot. Of authenticity has to be there for fans to like latch onto it, right? Like, you know, we're gonna sniff the bullshit out. If you're not talking about some real shit, we're gonna know pretty easily, right? But there is that thing of like, an artist can be a exaggeration or a character at sometimes, right? So like, what's your perspective of like, how much are you putting on with like, you know, the visuals and the performances and like all those things, right? Like how much is actually real life versus, you know, an artist brand? Because I feel like it's okay to have some things that are just like, this is the artist, right? How do you feel about that?
I mean, like right now I'm doing this interview. I don't like talking.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's that. I think
that's that, Ben. Next question.
I think that's the big thing. I don't like talking.
Which is, I mean, all right. So I was at your show last night, and still to hear that you are like, normally a shy person, and to your point, like getting you to talk on an interview is like an act of Congress, apparently, that we're getting through together, guys. We're on this journey together. All right. No one can leave us alone on this. Okay.
I'm not jumping ship yet.
Yeah, don't jump ship. All right. You either. Because you're kind of the most, we could keep going, but it'd be awkward. But no, it's interesting because your like live performance, you look so confident up there, right? And like the place was pretty packed out. It was at, an 800 cap room. That bitch looked like it was, getting near full to the back, right? And so for me, I feel like it is like, how do you find the courage or like the confidence to be up there doing your thing when like sitting on this couch with just some like, non-threatening people are like, that makes you nervous more so than maybe being up on stage in front of hundreds of people?
Honestly, I'm gonna be so real with you. I think my social skills are just fucked up. Because when I was like in middle school up until high school, like maybe grade 9, I got bullied really bad. So I didn't have many friends. Like I didn't speak to people. Like, and whenever I had the like chance to like speak to people, I kind of felt like I was like being judged. So I kind of like felt awkward. Like I'd be like, damn, like I don't want to say the wrong thing and like all that. So I think like I definitely get nervous before I perform. Like, damn, like I be feeling like I got a shit. Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've heard people say that before.
Hey,
I be feeling like I'm gonna shit my pants.
I was talking to someone about a artist who I used to manage his show. My wife literally goes, "Didn't he throw up as he was going on stage?" Literally,
9 times out of 10.
Literally, he threw up as he was coming out. Like the
but
whole
then
crowd
he put on
saw
a good
it.
show. After that, get that
so
out of the way.
Some people are coming out up top, and clearly you think something's
like,
gonna happen down.
I be feeling like I got a shit.
That's crazy.
Specifically,
but like I be nervous. But I think like me going out there, I love performing. Like I've always been like that. Like even from when I was younger. Like before I even had like music. Like my music was never good. I'm just gonna say that. But
okay,
we all start somewhere.
Until like now, like I'm like, damn, like my music is actually fire. But like at one point, like my music was really bad. But like I just built my name, like Ebony, and like all like that I have now. Like I really built it off of my live shows. So it's just me performing, and that was just because that's something that I love to do. Like even YouTube covers, like that was just something that I always loved doing, performing. So I think like when I'd go on stage, like I'd be nervous. Like I definitely have times where I'm like, what if someone doesn't like me? Like I have those shows where like I'm performing and I see one girl that's giving me like a salty look, like she is not enjoying my performance.
You just focus on her.
Yes.
You don't want to.
Stare at her.
There's 100 people vibing, but you're locked in on the one hater.
Yeah, I'll just stare at her.
It's always like that. Yep.
And I think it kind of makes me feel like powerful in a way. I know it kind of sounds fucked up to say, right?
You like stare them down?
I mean,
because then she ends up smiling after. I'm like, damn, I got you to like me.
It kind of sounds like, all right, I don't know if you saw this at all on her feed, but she does this thing, and I was actually really sad that you didn't do it last night at the performance. The SadBoi sacrifice. So just for the people that aren't familiar, what happens there? It's
women getting their power back, and basically, like, you want me to explain like what I do?
I mean, this is an audio. I mean, and it's a visual, but like, just explain the. I mean, I don't think I would do it justice. So maybe you can help me out.
So basically, one of my songs. Yeah, this is so jokes.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going there.
I actually thought about doing it last night too, but I'm like, maybe this isn't the vibe. But
you were literally staring at me at one point, the same way you were staring at this girl, apparently trying to win her over.
Did you have a hating ass look on your face?
I thought I had a great look on my face. I was enjoying it, but she did like lock eyes for a while, and like you probably weren't. Maybe it was the person behind me. I don't know, but I was like, oh shit, I had to go back to the back. I don't know. I just thought I knew you did this whole thing that you're about to describe, so I was just nervous that I was going to be.
Damn, she's gonna call me out.
Exactly. I was
the
like,
sacrifice.
Fuck. Yeah, I was like, fuck no, I'm not. Like, I can't do this.
Okay, so yeah, explain it to me because I don't know.
Okay, so SadBoi Sacrifice is basically one of my songs, Potential. I basically call a guy on stage. I'm like, damn, I need a guy on stage. So I call out a guy on stage, and I basically have him go on all fours. Well, I don't have him.
Yes,
I
you do.
ask him to.
No, you.
And he doesn't.
Yeah, he listens.
There's no option, okay? He has no fucking choice in the matter. I've seen the videos.
I mean, some
don't let her
guys
fool
could
you, folks.
say no.
No, they can't.
Has anyone ever said no?
No, but I've definitely had like guys like, you know, like fall in the middle of me being on their back.
It's your
Wait, so you
okay.
get on their
like,
back?
one
Yeah, I was like,
Wait,
keep going, keep going. So they're on all
Finish.
fours, okay? Because this is painting a
And
funny picture for Henry.
They're all on all fours.
There it is. You got it.
And basically I sit on their back and I perform my song.
Whoa.
And sometimes
Cool.
I tease them, sometimes I bring out a whip.
I was like, she's not just sitting. She's not like getting a ride. It's
And
like,
they enjoy it.
Yeah,
They really enjoy it.
they seem
But
like
it really is like, it's like, you know what's so crazy though? It's not like meant to be a sexual thing at all. And I think like a lot of guys are just freaks and they like it. But it wasn't meant to be sexual at all. It was really just meant to be a moment where like women are kind of taking their power back. It makes me feel good.
So why didn't you do it last night? Because you performed
Last night I was
Potential.
trying to rage.
Yeah. Okay. See, because that was the thing that I was telling Henry before you got here. I was like, yeah, like the show last night. I had
It was completely different.
Yeah, I had no clue who Nia Archives was.
Is that because of who the other acts were? Did you mold it a little bit?
Yes, it's Nia Archives. And like, to be honest with you, she's one of my favorite DJs. And I think that was like, well, for me and my mindset going into it was, how do I put on a show but also make it like a really good moment and something that people can walk away from and be like, damn, like, because to be honest with you, I don't even know if it's something that's going to happen again, like when I'm going to have that moment. But that was like my moment to kind of bring in like my favorite DJs like from Toronto and have them mix my songs and just kind of bring people into my world, like how I grew up, like the nightlife. So I literally just remixed like all my songs, and it was by like this DJ from Toronto, Nino, and she basically did all the mixes. But it was just like showing Toronto nightlife. And I've never performed like that in my life. Like usually it's like, okay, like I'm gonna go up there, this routine, like I'm gonna do this. Whereas this time, like it was literally just mixes and it was just dancing, just having fun. Yeah, so it's completely different. That was my first time ever doing that.
Did you like it more or just different? Like, you know, how'd you feel about it walking away?
I loved both. I like both ways performing. I think this was fun because it was like my first time doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And it kind of made me feel like I was just like in my bedroom in a weird way.
Yeah. Like singing in the shower. It's just everything's better.
Yeah, because everyone's just dancing on drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because I like walked in, I was probably like one of the oldest people in the room, right? Like these are young, lots of white people though. I don't know if you were expecting that from Nia Archives, but like I didn't know what to expect, right?
Well, is it EDM?
She's basically like kind of like
It's like
dance.
jungle.
Yeah, it's like jungle dance.
Drum and bass.
Yeah, drum and bass type shit.
High
And so-
energy.
Yeah, so like definitely a high percentage on drugs for sure. Lots of, they were there to rage, right?
I
like,
love that.
because I walked in and the opening DJ was going crazy. I was like, okay, I'm awake now. Like, I was like just a little thrown off.
And with it sounds like you ended up performing. It sounds like that fits way better with something like that. So it sounds like,
100%.
you obviously gave it thought and kind of molded your show to fit
like
that.
it was an opportunity for me to bring like, I think every opportunity I have, I try to look for opportunities to bring people into my world. And that was just an opportunity for me to bring people into like the nightlife world that I grew up in, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's huge for our audience, right? Is that like, if they get the chance to open for, a headliner and go on, I mean, I think you're doing like six plus dates with Nia, right? So if you have that opportunity, like you should not just do the same fucking set that you're maybe used to every time. I mean, like think about the moment that you can create, right? Like, you looked at it and you're like, hey, this is what her crowd's going to be like probably. How do I deliver like some version of that's still SadBoi, but like, fits a little bit different mold, you know what I mean? So I think it's smart. And I think that people oftentimes, I don't know if it's laziness or, whatever, but they need
comfort too.
Yeah,
comfort. People want to perform something that they're used to and they've done it a bunch of times and they want to minimize the half the shit feeling probably as much as possible.
Yeah,
which I understand.
Did you have to shit more or less last night? before you went on stage? Would you say? You know, scale on like about to shit your pants.
Do we need to do a shit scale right now, Ben?
I mean,
don't know if we had to do
like
that.
a shit scale.
It's valuable for our audience.
I think
I
definitely had to shit last night.
Okay, but
I had to shit last night, but I wanted to use the washroom, but I couldn't use the washroom because someone shit in the washroom already, so it smelled really bad. So
and you don't want to mix smells. Now you got me doing it. Come on, I don't.
Damn.
So like,
you think it was Nia? You think it was Nia?
It was definitely not Nia.
Oh, I'm just saying.
She's confident.
It could have been Nia.
It
bro.
was not Nia.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's true.
So how much of your music is like based on personal experiences now, right? Like, is it all pretty much sad?
Everything.
It's all sad boy stories now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. We've talked to some people, like when you're writing about something that, you know, had a big impact on you, like how deep in the rabbit hole of like emotions are you getting, right? In that bathroom that you're writing in, you know what I mean?
Very deep.
Yeah.
I think like, I don't like talking, like I said before.
You're doing a good job so far,
like,
though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Okay. Yeah, we are too.
I don't like talking, so like I don't even like expressing myself. Like whenever there's a situation, whether it's like a relationship or like if I'm going through something, like it's so rare that I'm even gonna talk about it. So I just kind of like brush it off and then like I just go in my washroom and write. But I don't even take in until after I'm done writing how fucked up it is.
So you're like blacking out almost during the writing process.
Yeah, but I think it's just something that I learned to do. Like that's why I'm like I think my social skills are so fucked up because I think like being bullied really like fucked with me mentally because I'm just like you kind of just learn to like brush things to the side and like not really talk about certain things and it's just like okay, something happens, like it's cool, like whatever. So I think like when I'm writing music it's like I'm letting things out, but like I'm obviously feeling the production because it's bringing something out of me, but like I'm not thinking twice about like what I'm saying. So like once I record the song and I actually pay attention to my lyrics, I'm like, damn, maybe I should see a therapist.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a release, like, because, you know, it's dangerous a lot of times to hold in certain, like, very heavy emotions. You know, that stuff just, like, can grind away at you and you just pack it away until you have a heart attack. So it sounds like music, you kind of found it, you know, as, like, an outlet for that.
It's actually so crazy you said that because a bit after my birthday in December, I always go through this thing where like I hold everything in and then like every 2 months, like one thing could happen. It could be like I did this interview, for example, and it's like you guys said something. I'm like, damn, why would they say that?
And the floodgates open.
Yeah, like I will literally be crying for like 2 days. And that happened to me like last year, like around my birthday. In my chest, it felt like there was like an elephant on my chest. And that was like the moment where I was like, damn, like I really need to do better with expressing myself. So like I'll just like talk to my mom about like anything I have going on because I'll just hold it in. And so like it kind of got to a point, like imagine like you don't speak to anyone for like years. Like you just like kind of like learn to like hold everything in. And it gets to a point where it's like unhealthy and your body actually starts to like feel it.
Physically.
And I was just like, damn, like, why does my chest feel like this? Like, I was actually like, where, you know? And I kind of just like learned, like, damn, I really need to express myself and take a whole shift. I mean, I'm not that good at expressing myself, so, but
yeah,
I try.
No, I mean,
it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need something. Yeah. There has to be something.
It sounds like you might need. I mean, do we need to get you on the couch at one point?
I got some shit to say.
I mean, you know, we just need to.
Yeah, whether it's therapy or you're a painter or you record music, like there has to be something. You ignore these things for too long, and it does like show up in physically negative ways.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful that you found that.
So obviously, you're not just making music in a vacuum in your bathroom. Like you are collaborating with people. I mean, we saw you with our friend Dos Diaz, who's a Grammy winning engineer, right? So like you are out in the world now, like making music with people. And so I'm kind of curious though, like how hard is that for you being shy and not being necessarily, you know, comfortable around other people, and maybe you don't want to be vulnerable around them. You don't want to express how you're feeling through your music with people you don't know or you've just met. Like, has that impacted your ability to kind of move around the industry at all?
No, because I think like building relationships is a big thing. And I try my best to build relationships and keep relationships, even if a session goes bad.
And they do sometimes.
Yeah, like I've literally had sessions where like I've worked with like writers or like producers, and I just sit there quiet because I'm just like, I don't really like it, or like I'm just not into it. But I think it's also like really important to like kind of, you know yourself and also make the best out of situations. Like sometimes like in those situations where like I find myself like kind of stepping out my comfort zone and doing something that I never thought I would do. Like, and I know it sounds crazy, like maybe I'll walk away like hating it, but like I'm like enjoying it. Like I kind of try to like be like in the moment and make the best out of it. And if I end up making like a rock song and I walk away and I'm like, this shit is trash, then I at least know that like I tried, you know?
Yeah.
I think for me, like writers is very hard. I think that's like a really big thing for me. That's really hard because
using a writer.
Yeah, I feel like it's really hard for me to like open up. Like there's this one girl that I work really close with. Her name's Lowell, but I could talk to her about anything. She's like a big sister. Like I literally like will see her, and I'll go to her house and I'll just talk to her for like hours. I'll be like, this happened to me, and this, and this. It feels like a therapy session, but you know, like. I know like sometimes like I think it's just about like knowing like you're not going to get that out of certain people, you know, like you connect with who you connect with, and that's fine, but still make the best out of the situation. And I think I learned, I'm learning to do that, because I'm like, damn, this shit sucks. But then I'm like, you know, but they're actually still fire, like, you know, so just make the best out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people that you have genuine relationships with and can spend time with outside of the studio, you're way more likely to make better music with them, because you just have kind of a mutual understanding of each other. You know, if your only relationship with someone is in the studio, it's hard to just be inspired by something or like be able to reference something that you talked about, or it just helps to have that deeper connection.
Yeah, we just interviewed Trey Trax, who produces most of like Saucy Santana's shit and Lotto's shit. He's a crazy producer, and he talked about how like his thing is that like he's really only working with people that he genuinely calls friends. Yeah. And he thinks that that's a big reason why he gets the records that he gets out of these artists, right? Is that like they have this personal connection where they're calling each other when they've had a fucked up day. They're going to each other's houses on Thanksgiving. Like they're genuinely, you know, personally connected to one another.
They're getting hookah at the club every night.
Yeah. They're doing birthday week celebrations for each other's birthdays. And yeah, you know, he pointed out that like, that's something where he's just trying to jog his brain, is like, well, you know, what's working. And he thinks that that's like a huge leg up on people that are just like sending beat packs through emails and have never worked with the artist. Like, can you land a placement? Sure. But is the song going to necessarily like hit the same as, you know?
I think also too, like when I changed my name, it was so easy. I think it kind of goes into branding, right? And I think when I changed my name, I was like, okay, like when people would like DM me beats, or like when they would DM me like, not DM, inbox, email, whatever, same thing, right?
MySpace message.
MySpace.
Telegram. Carrier pigeon. I don't know how they're getting you fucking beats these days.
Yeah. When they would like send me beats or like, you know, songs, I'd be like, this does not feel like a SadBoi record. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying. When I went by my name, like when I went by Ebony, I would take anything and everything, like whatever it was people gave me. If I loved a song, I was like, this is like my song, I'm taking it. But then now I'm realizing where it's like there's songs that I love, but I'm just like, this doesn't feel like me. And I think that's like a really big thing to like, you know,
making that distinction. Yeah, you can love the Beatles,
that's really
but
important.
You're never gonna make a Beatles record.
Yeah, I mean, just also, I mean, being selective and understanding like what is the brand that we're trying to achieve here, and knowing, and this is where, you know, I know you have a lot of support from the LVRN folks, right? And I think that they do that shit almost flawlessly.
Very good.
They understand so well, like, who are you as an artist? Like, what story are we telling? And let's pick the records, right, together alongside the artist, obviously with your vision. But like, let's pick the ones that really resonate with like this thing that we're trying to, you know, this story that we're trying to tell here.
And so it sounds like you understood branding from a young age as well, even just from the shows, like you said, you were putting on, you kind of got that concept. And even if you didn't think the music was good, you were rallying people together behind you. So that combined with like an LVRN.
Yeah.
Sounds deadly to me.
Absolutely. So you were making YouTube videos, obviously, for these like talent shows early on. And I'm kind of curious, like, now that your career's a lot more serious than it was at that time in your life. Like,
which, by the way, can we get talent shows at amusement parks in America? Can someone set that up here? Why is that a Canadian thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds like some Canadian shit, though. You know what I'm saying?
I would go.
Yeah, mate. Would you?
Yeah. Well,
probably. I don't know.
If I knew someone.
If SadBoi was there.
Definitely.
But no. So like, what part of your, artists change as things get more serious, like, right? Like, this is a business now. Like, you're trying to make money, you're trying to feed family members, you're trying to like make something, for yourself. At that point, though, when it's just like talent shows and YouTube video submissions, like, is there any part of your like mindset at that point that you want to make sure you like hold on to, even now that shit's getting serious? If that makes sense.
I don't know if I'm going to answer this right. Like, so you mean like basically like if there's any part of like my mindset that like holds on to like that?
Yeah,
the innocent.
Yeah, like just before it got serious. Like everyone's so fucking serious once their career starts to be at a certain point,
I mean, I definitely don't think it's a situation where I feel. It definitely feels more serious now. But I think it's also because I'm aware of like the sacrifices that were made.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like my mom like sold like our house, like our condo, and we moved into like a 1-bedroom. And it was just like me and my mom, like a tiny 1-bedroom in Toronto. It's like literally like living in New York, like to put in like, it's like literally like a shoebox. Like it's so small.
Did you have bunk beds?
No, we would like alter who sleeps on the bed.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like sometimes I'd be on the bed, my mom would be on the couch. Like that's just like what we did. Even like at one point, like we lived with my grandma. Like I think it's just like, recognizing like the sacrifices that were made and the fact that like people who like sacrifice a lot for me put themselves in like uncomfortable positions just because they believed in me. So I think that's where like the seriousness comes in, because it's like, more is happening, but it's just like it feels like pressure because it's like you don't want to fuck up,
Yeah.
So I think that can kind of like fuck with my mind, because I'm like, damn, I don't want to let anyone down. But I think like just staying true to myself and just putting like the work in is what's gonna help me win.
That's what we realized doing this podcast. We just were inviting whoever the hell would come 2 years ago, and I think we're good at what we do and we've come a long way, but the main differentiator between us and 100 other podcasts is we just haven't quit. We just didn't stop doing it, and we've gotten a little better every week, and now we've been doing it, 150 something episodes, and they're just at the peak, I think, and they're going to keep getting better. So even just not stopping what you're doing a lot of time, like without having to stress out too hard about it, that does so much by itself.
Honestly, you're just reminding me of like this moment when I was getting ready to like, I think it was like my last year of high school, and I was in the car with my mom, and we were like driving, and I was like to her, I was like, it's so crazy, because I just kind of had like this like moment where I was like thinking of everything, because my mom said to me, she's like, I'm literally giving you till like your last year of high school to figure this shit out, or you're going to college or university. And I was like, damn. Because I kept telling my teachers, they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, music. And they would look at me like I'm crazy. Like, it wasn't until like the last semester of high school, people, like my teachers were like, okay, we actually believe you. Like, you can actually do this.
Yeah.
Because things didn't start happening for me until like my last semester of high school. But I literally was like talking to my mom, and I kind of like I think it was the pressure, because I knew I was like getting ready to graduate high school, and all my friends were talking about going to college and like what they want to do, but like mine was just like strictly music, and I didn't really know what that would look like or what I needed to do exactly, but I knew I just had to like keep doing my thing, and it was too late for me to be like, I'm not doing this. Because now at this point, we go from like living in a house to like a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, there's no way you can turn to your mom now and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, So I literally said to her, I was like, damn, this is like, wait, fuck, I'm having a brain fart. I literally looked at my mom and I was like, it's literally too late for us to like, be like, I'm not doing this anymore. And she kind of gave me like, the courage to like keep going. And I think that was like the moment I was like, okay. And I think that was like the first time and the last time that I've ever even had like a thought to be like, what am I going to do? Because like in her mind, it's just like, you're going to keep trying. And I think that was like a good thing for me. Because then I went back to school that week and I was like, okay, I'm going to go do music. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And everyone's just like, okay, we're going to help you. Like my teacher's like, okay, we're going to help you with this. So that felt really good. I think that was like just a strange moment. You just kind of reminded me of that because I'm like, that was a really bad time for me. Because imagine like all your friends are getting ready to go to college. They're going to university. They're like picking out their schools. They're like bringing you to the school. They're like, I'm going to go do this. Like I heard they're having a party here. Like I was never into those things like ever. But like seeing my friends enjoy it, I'm like, damn, am I missing out on something? Like, am I like, you know?
I think it's insane to think that you have to have your life figured out by 18 years old. I think by the time you're 27, that like you do not have to have it figured out.
He's 30. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I'm 31. I have no idea what I'm doing. So like, yeah, I think that's just, I think older generations kind of had to figure it out quicker. I think it's different now. You know, we have a lot more options. We can do YouTube full time. We don't have to go fight a war at 18 immediately. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, for me, I think like it's so cool that you remember that like inflection point though. Like you probably remember that shit like it was yesterday. Like that car ride.
Had to feel good.
I remember. Like I don't remember where we are going, but I just remember like being in the car and we were making a left.
You remember the direction?
Wow.
And we were driving. I think we were driving to my grandma's house because this is when we moved to like Weston, and we were driving towards my grandma's house. I don't know what we were doing, and I just remember I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
It's funny how memory works like that. You'll remember the most specific detail of something.
No, but I feel like everyone that has had that, you know, entrepreneurial journey or like artist journey, whatever, like, you know, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, dude, I remember the phone call we had where it was like, we were about to quit we were literally quitting. We were like, this shit is getting so fucking annoying. Like just, you know, we weren't seeing the views that we wanted. Like it was tough getting like the guests that we wanted and like all this shit. And we were like, oh my God. I literally told him, I was like, dude, we got to stop doing the interviews. Like this shit's trash. Like,
that was like this year.
It was not that.
The beginning of this year.
Yeah. And and then since that point, I had a friend who deleted his Instagram when we were probably at like 2K followers or something. He called me yesterday and he was like, bro, what happened with the podcast? He's like, you guys have like hundreds of thousands and millions of views now and like 15K on Instagram. So we've grown by like, you know, 10,000%. I don't know, like whatever. Right. And so it's those points though, where you like so badly want to just give up or you don't know if this is working. You like feel like you're fucking beating your head against a brick wall and like doing the same thing over and over again and nothing's happening. So like we've seen, like he told me now, he was like, dude, you're at the bottom of that exponential curve now where it's like, it's just going to shoot up. And I feel like you're kind of at that inflection point now too. But to get from like not knowing what the fuck you're doing and do you want to keep going and your mom coming to you and be like, hey, you know, you got to take this shit seriously or else like, let's get you to school type of shit. What did you actually do? Because our audience is a lot of, you know, independent artists that are trying to make it in music. And so I feel like, what did you specifically start focusing on, right? That maybe started actually working? Was there like a few things that you really started doing or that you saw working well?
I would honestly say it was the consistency.
Yeah.
Because my music sucked. I was going by Ebony. I didn't have like a brand. I didn't even know who I was as an artist or like even like as a human being, like, you know?
Sure.
And all I did was be consistent. Like I knew like I think it was like every other Saturday I had a show because I was just like open for whoever it was coming to Toronto.
But how are you getting those opening gigs?
From my YouTube covers. So like when I did like the contests, like I just kept putting on shows and then it kind of just got to a point where like, you know, like big agencies would be like, okay, well, Doja Cat is coming to Toronto and we want Ebony to open for her or Tiana Taylor. But I wouldn't get paid. Like I wouldn't get paid. I would do everything for free. Like I would make my costumes. Mind you, we were like broke, like no money, but like we would make our own costumes. Like we would do like all these things and like I'd put the show together. But it was just about consistency. Like I knew like, okay, I'm going to drop on SoundCloud like once a month. You know, I'm going to take my own photos in my room, like by myself, and that's going to be my cover art. It was just about being consistency. And I think that's something that, like, I'm going to be so real with you, like, I fell off from at some point. And I've seen where, like, it kind of, like, you go from, like, this to, like, this without being consistent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I think, like, when if your music is bad, like, if you're consistent, like, people have no choice but to fuck with you, realistically, because you stay in people's faces, right? So
it sort of sorts itself out. Like, people that like you are going to keep engaging with your content and seeing the new song and seeing the new thing, and the people that don't are going to move on, and you just make that hamster wheel move even faster.
And you figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Being consistent, that's another big thing. Like, it's like, you figure everything out. Like, you're not going to figure anything out by just sitting there and being like, I'm not going to drop until like 3 months. Like, because you're not going to know, you know what I mean? And I feel like every single time I dropped, every single time I did something, I learned something.
Yes. Oh man, we've posted content that has sucked, but we always learn something from it, bro.
Oh, at the same time that we wanted to quit, right? Like, we had no idea who we were even fucking making any of this for. We were like,
no
who
target
even
audience.
listens to us fucking bozos right now? Like, who's out there? Like, who's gonna give a shit about this, right? And so I think that, to your point, you don't know any of that until you do so much that you're like, like, why did they like this piece of content, this episode, in your case, this song, or like this look, whatever. And it's because you tried so much shit that finally you're like, they liked this, this, and this. Those 3 things have this in common, or like this general theme amongst them, right? Like, maybe we should fucking lean into that.
It's the quantity breeds quality. Quality is subjective. Something that you think is quality might not be quality to someone else, but you control quantity. That's a number. How many pieces of content did you put out? How many songs did you drop this year? How many shows did you do? So that's the one that when you have control over that, you take that by the horns. Write it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Keep going, bro. You got more?
Spitting. Put on a beat.
Oh my gosh.
No, don't do that.
Okay, so your upcoming tour with Black is a Euro run, right? Okay. How many dates is it?
I don't know.
Several. Right?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Many countries.
I think it starts February, ends in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to any of those cities on the tour?
No, I was recently in London though.
Okay.
I really love it.
Yeah. So looking at the cities that you're going to, like, which one are you most excited to go to?
Oh, damn. Can I look real quick?
Sure. Let's check it out. What do we got?
London, I feel like England has trash food, right? Let's be real.
No.
Trash food.
Dude, all my artist friends were shitting on London. Let's hear why London's so
England?
cool.
Wait.
They got fish and chips. What else?
Let me just say something.
Yes.
Nothing.
Go ahead,
One
SadBoi.
thing I'll say.
England food is trash.
When I was going there, everyone kept saying, like, it's really bad.
They
right?
eat beans for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for, where is it? Oh,
Got some Jeopardy music for you.
damn! I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm excited about all these places because I really I love Europe. Like, I really just want to go because I feel like it just gives me.
It's like a fresh perspective, or what is it? What is it?
It just like feels like me. Like I feel like since like I was like young, like I always said like I want to move to like London or like somewhere in Europe.
I borderline like thought you were British. Like,
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or French, like, Canadian, French Canadian.
No. But you know what's so crazy?
She's
like
not
I
from
used
Montreal, bro.
Sorry.
Jeez, chill.
It's so crazy because I
Wrong
always used
Canada.
to like talk to guys from like London knowing that I could like never see them because I had like no money.
Okay, now you have maybe at least, I don't know.
A little more means.
At least enough to go to London.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can make
If
it
it's
back,
worth
but
it. But like even now.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about Skepta.
Do we have to?
Yes. She wants to get the attention of Skepta. She made everyone in the crowd last night DM Skepta.
Oh, then we're definitely talking
That
about
sad boy's looking for you.
Here,
This is so funny.
see this camera right here? Just look into that.
Yeah, okay. Shoot your shot. This is your chance,
Just
all right?
talk to Skepta.
Skepta is a big fan of the podcast.
He watches every
He watches
episode.
every fucking episode, okay? He hasn't missed one. All right, so he'll be tuned in. So this is your chance. Shoot your
You're
shot.
making me really nervous right now.
All right.
We won't listen. Here,
I'm listening. This You can still hear. Jesus.
I honestly like don't know what to say.
Well, you better give it a shot. Start with "Hey Skepta," maybe something like, I don't know.
Don't coach.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna say.
All right, let's go right in that camera.
This one.
Mm-hmm. Pretend that's Skepta's beautiful eyes.
Somebody go call up Skepta. Let them know about get looking for him. See, like that was like a little promo. That means like stream Where You At, babe, because it's about Skepta and everything's in that song.
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, is there anything else she needs to say other than like...
No, because honestly, I'm pretty sure he's like sick of me.
He's noticed
because I've been doing this since November. Like every single time I have a show and I perform Skepta, it was called Where You At, babe. But whenever I perform that song, I'm always like, can you guys like tag Skepta on Instagram and let him know that SadBoi's looking for him? And people would actually send me screenshots of like Skepta like watching their story. And like every night on that Jessie Reyes tour, there was probably like 10 stories. So imagine.
Yeah, he's seen it.
He's definitely seen it.
I'm manifesting Skepta's on the remix to that song coming out 2024.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
Dude, that's actually a great idea.
It's happening.
We're
going to make a clip out of that too, so he'll see the clip.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So what's one thing that people would be like most surprised to learn about SadBoi?
That I'm actually really shy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, that's definitely the one that you know, just looking at your page and looking at your music videos and shit, like you do not seem like a shy person.
I'm really shy.
Yeah.
I think that. I also think like maybe I'm really sensitive.
Typical artist.
Shy and sensitive, typical artist. But this
introverted,
is the thing though.
Yeah.
I'm not sensitive when it comes to my music. I'm sensitive when it comes to like my day in life, like day to day, like type shit. Like anything else, like whatever. Like, cause at the end of the day, like I look at everything, like I'm kind of like, not like hard-headed, but like I'm also like open to like any feedback. So like anytime like someone says, you know, like you could have done this differently or like maybe try this, like I'm open to hearing it because it's like you kind of have like my best interest, right? But when it
unless they're just hating, sometimes
unless you're just hating, like, but when it comes to that, I'm just like, in one ear, out the other.
So you are able to kind of, because at the shows, you kind of lock in on the people that are vibing with you, but you're able to kind of, not the same like on social media, if someone leaves, if there's 100 comments that say are fire, and the 101st comment is a hater, you're kind of able to just block that out. Some people have trouble with that.
I think like the only thing, there's two things. I think the one thing is when people be like, why didn't you do a Caribbean vibe? Like, why aren't you speaking patois? That's like another thing. And then when people talk about like my body, those are like the two things. Like when people be like, oh my God, you're so skinny. But then sometimes I'm like, whatever. But it's like if you catch me on like an off day where like I'm not in the mood, I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You might reply to one or two on it. Because
I'm like, that shit's so crazy.
Yeah. Negativity is loud. Negativity, it just speaks so loud for some reason. We all hear it way more. We'll skip over 100 fire emojis from supporters and we'll see that one dude saying something off.
But so if they bring up the IBTC, is that an issue?
No, because I rep the IBTC.
Okay. So it's just the skinny?
Yeah, it's just like, because you know what it is? I feel like a lot of the times it's like when I be like getting those comments, it's more so like an irritation for me because it's like you're just doing anything. Because more times when I get those type of comments and like I go click the profile, it's someone that's not attractive that should not be saying anything.
And they're sad in their lives. They're not happy.
And it's also like guys that have tried DMing me and I just haven't responded. So it's like you're just doing anything. You know what I mean? And I think it's just more so like, damn, like now you're just gonna go on here and like try to like call me out, but it's like you were just trying to talk to me. It's like,
yeah.
So I think that's like the only thing. But I've like grown. Like, you know, at one point, like when I moved to Atlanta, I really wanted to get my body done. Like when I moved here.
Like what?
I wanted to get my boobs done and my butt done.
Whole thing.
Yeah. But then I was just like, you know, like I'm kind of happy that like I didn't, because like, you know, like for like 2 years I was like on and off. Like I kept going to like different doctors. I was like, I was spending so much money on like that first appointment just for them to look at
consultations.
This girl spent all her rent money on consultations with boob doctors.
But then, like, every single time I would go, I'd walk away like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And
you want to be sure about something like that.
Yeah. And I just, like, you know, like, I kind of just, like, learned to, like, well, I didn't learn. I grew to love my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry, do you love yours?
I love my body.
Okay. Why you gotta ask Henry that?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
I'm just making sure we're all here.
Are you happy with your face?
So
I'm not. No, I'm thinking about seeing a guy about my face. Are there face doctors? Because I need a referral.
That's so jokes.
Oh my gosh. So I mentioned our friend Dos Diaz, who's a mutual friend of ours.
Love him.
Yeah, I love him too. And I feel like, he's a Grammy-winning engineer. And so I just want to know, for all the people out there that don't really understand what a good engineer does, like you've probably been in sessions with degular studio provides you with just the house engineer that is clocking in, clocking out. And then you've been in a studio session with someone who's got a fucking Grammy, right? So from your perspective, like what is the biggest difference that you see, right? Like out of those two characters?
Okay, well, now I'm thinking like a bit differently because like now we're like really good friends and I be telling him everything. So like I be going to session with him and it's just like fun. And like we kind of like, he just like helps me. He'll be like, Ebbs, like try hitting the note like this or like try doing this. And like, like he's really, really, really patient and he's really helpful at the same time. But I'm trying to think like the first time I worked with him, like what made him so good. Like I'm gonna be so real with you. Like when it comes to like, I think it was just like the feedback he gave. I think that was like a big thing for me because I'd be in sessions sometimes and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. My head will start hurting. I think it's like ADHD. Like I'll be like, like what are you like? What's happening? But with like, with him, he's just very much like, okay, like try this or try doing it like this, and then like he just encourages me. He'll be like, okay, you got it. Like do it one more time. Okay, you got it. Do it one more time.
And by the way, that's
why we're called One More Time. But
that's where it comes from.
Not from Dos Diaz, but just in general.
But having to do it one more time.
No. I mean, I think that's really important what you're saying about like the engineers and and producers, because he's basically doing like vocal production at that point.
It is vocal production.
Yeah, but like he's setting the vibe and he's making you, the artist, feel as comfortable as possible. And I feel like that's such an underrated skill. And honestly,
huge.
You can't really teach it to some degree. Some people just got it and then some don't.
Well, some people are engineers because they sign up to be an engineer, and an engineer is really only being paid, generally hourly to hit record and to follow instructions. So anyone that's doing something on top of that, it is like a form of production, and you don't see engineers getting, publishing. They're not getting points on the record for that. So it is valuable to find, because if the engineer's not doing it, then you do need maybe the guy that made the beat or someone else to like, some artists I think can do it themselves, but most artists I think always benefit from having someone who is listening to every line, listening to every take, giving feedback, and you're kind of able to bounce that off and get the best take for each part and remembering how the song sounds as a whole and just has that vision, of the song and what are we saying here? What's the message?
Yeah, because like if you're just by yourself and you don't have any trusted like creative input from anyone else, it's just going to be like a feedback loop of your own thoughts of like either you think it's great and it's not, or the vice versa. You think it's bad and it's actually fire. You know what I mean? Like that's even worse. Yeah. So I think that's the most important part is the feedback and like the like patience and the encouragement that you're getting out of someone, because we do a lot of live streams where our audience will submit music and we'll listen to it. Henry's an engineer producer. I'm just a fan that has a fucking opinion about people's songs, and I think the biggest thing that we hear is probably like them not getting the best take. Like literally, that's oftentimes like the only feedback we'll have on a song is like, hey, a cool record, this, that, and the third, but like, we don't feel like you got the best take, like vocally. And so I feel like for him challenging you to like, try this, try it again, do it one more time, etc. Like that's important.
And and another thing too, like there's also artists out there too that don't want to hear what an engineer has to say.
Yes, for sure.
And I think what makes him so special is the fact that he's just like good energy.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he don't even be saying anything, and he just be a vibe, and it just like makes you like feel good, you know.
There's also a wrong way. There's a wrong way to say like, hey, you could try that again. You know, you could be like, yo, that was terrible. Try it some other way. You know, you got to be like
any other way.
This is people's art. You got to be like careful with how you word yourself when you're working on a record. So I think he's very good at wording it correctly.
For sure. So for this question, pretend your momager is not in the room, okay?
I'm nervous.
You should be. No, I'm just kidding. I just think it's important for people that are out there considering like what type of manager to have on their team, right? Because you've had other managers in the past, right? Before manager characters in the past before, Ma Dukes took over like the reins, I would say, right? So why did you make that decision to, kind of go all in with mom as the momager? Because I feel like there's a specific reason probably that, you've tried other people and it didn't work out. Right. So like what didn't work out about the past ones and like,
Well, for starters, I think it was the fact that my mom sacrificed so much without even being my manager. And she was always in the picture. So even when I had other managers, like my mom would be in the picture, and half the time or more times, like she'd be the one doing all the work. I'm gonna be so real with you.
Shout out.
And I learned in like my last management situation that, a manager, like for me, is someone that like I could literally speak to like around the clock. There should never be like a time where it's like,
yes,
I'm sleeping, I can't talk to you right now, like let's talk in the morning, like 8 a.m. Like it was very much a situation where, around the clock it was like SadBoi, like, okay, what do we need to do? I like constantly like, going back and forth about ideas, or like I'd wake up to messages from her like, okay, I was thinking about this. And I think that was like a really big thing for me, and just seeing how much she cared about it. Because again, it's like, I also have another sibling. I have a younger sister, but she was just so dedicated. And I've had managers where it's like, they manage other artists and like they're doing really well for themselves, or like, they have a whole family, but it's like about being a priority, And I think communication and feeling like a priority is like a really big thing. And I felt like I got that in my mom, and I didn't really get that in other situations.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about how the management situation, you got to be
excited.
Yeah, just being invested and caring. Like, there's plenty of people who would sign you to make 20% off you just in case you blow up. That comes a dime a dozen. There's not that many people who see what you are doing, hear the music, see the brand, and be like, oh my God, like I believe in this so much. I want this to happen. And clearly you've found that, I think, in this situation more than any other.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I think it's just, I think any situation you go into, I think you should be thinking like that.
Yeah. But how hard is it to like shut off work? Like, you
guys ever just mom and daughter?
Like, exactly. It's like you guys are going like shopping or to a movie or something, and it's like, so like, how should we do this rollout?
Rollout for the singles coming up.
God.
Tour's coming up.
Crazy.
Like, did you call the TM? Like.
Well, I still live at home, and it be getting on my nerves when like my mom be like walking in the room at like 7 a.m. like, Ebony, I got this email, and I'm just like, can you like wait until I wake up? Like,
Can I have fucking coffee first, Mom?
I had my coffee. Yeah.
God damn it.
There are definitely moments too where it's like I'm out for dinner and I'm like, I just don't want to hear about music right now.
Yeah.
But again, like those are days where it's just like I'm having off days, and she also respects it, but we still talk about it.
She respects it, but we still talk about it.
It's just, to be honest with you, I feel like the bond I have though with my mom is just so special though, because it's like, that's like my best friend. So it's not even really like, it doesn't really feel like, there's definitely certain situations where I'm like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have swore because this is my mom. But like, there's situations where I'm like, oh my God, this is actually like my mom. But then more times I'm coming to her about like every single thing that happens in my life, every single thing, like my mom and my sister. So I think like I'm really lucky in that sense, because it doesn't feel like I need to shut anything off, or I need to like, watch what I say or do certain things.
Yeah. No, I think the biggest takeaway is that, like, you know, having someone who's going to be prioritizing you and like wanting this, you know, almost as bad as you want it for yourself, right? Like, that's so important. Like, because some people are looking for a manager that's got the best connections and they've been in the industry for 30 fucking years, whatever, right? They've got platinum records this, platinum records that. But honestly, you really like just need someone who actually gives a flying fuck enough
it
to
matters
like,
more. It really does.
enough to just put in all the work that it takes. Because like, you can find someone who has the connections and like they can help out, but like day to day, like hearing what you're going through as a person and how that's impacting your career and like your professional artistry, right? Like, that's someone you need more so than like the plugged up. I don't know, in my opinion.
No, facts.
Plugged up managers are like slightly overrated in my opinion, but
Well, they're still valuable for different reasons.
I just think you can't just have them.
Right.
You can borderline just have the hardworking
one that cares. Yeah, I agree.
To them figure out how to get the connections right versus you can't just have the connected one that doesn't actually think about you really ever, you know? Yeah. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like what's the Caribbean influence? Like, is that family?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got your Caribbean back because I saw you were in Jamaica recording. Was that like with family?
You did research.
Oh yeah,
I did. You're SadBoi.
Oh yeah,
We have to know.
We have to know. Yeah, Nardwuar about this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jamaican and Antiguan.
Were you in Jamaica strictly to record, or were you also like double? Okay.
I went to Jamaica to record.
How does like a recording session in Jamaica differ from like your usual Atlanta or Toronto vibes?
A lot of rum punch.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
A lot of rum punch.
Versus here, maybe it's like Hennessy or something.
Whiskey
I actually
Coke.
don't drink in my sessions.
Oh,
I don't drink or smoke.
Oh.
Even like when I perform, I'm sober.
Oh.
Yep.
But when you listen back at the end of the day, maybe.
In Jamaica, I think it's just a vibe. You're in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can you not have a rum punch, you know?
I don't know.
I definitely would.
Yeah. Or 10.
That's just like, you know.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh man. So recording somewhere else though, like do you feel like you get like a different end result at all?
You know what's so interesting? I think, well, my background is Jamaican and Antiguan. And both my grandparents are like heavy Caribbeans. And I just feel, even being in Toronto, I feel like Toronto's like a melting pot of like people like from all over the world. So like you just feel like, you know, no shade, but like, and then like you guys don't even have good like Jamaican restaurants. Like, you know what I mean? Like every Jamaican restaurant you go to in Toronto is gonna be fire. Like, because like the culture is just so heavy, you know? It's just so interesting because like even growing up in like a Caribbean household, I felt like being in Jamaica kind of like felt like home in a sense.
Oh wow.
That kind of feels like crazy to say.
So there's something deep rooted in you, maybe. That just felt right.
Like it just felt good. Like, and it felt like home. Like it felt like, you know, like I wake up and I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna have like ackee and saltfish for breakfast. Like that's what I want. Or for lunch, I know I want this. Or like, you know, like it just felt like home. Like even speaking to the people at the studio, like it just felt so familiar. So it really kind of was like, it was peaceful. Yeah, it was really peaceful. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think that's good for the creative environment for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You need peace.
Absolutely. No, I mean, for me, I feel like, I will say maybe we don't have the best Jamaican spots, but like we do have some good wing spots here in Atlanta. So like,
You guys do.
yeah,
It's true.
so
I'll say that.
sorry we don't have the Jamaican spots.
And both are better than all the food in London combined. So there's that.
Anyway, SadBoi, we have entered a final segment of the podcast.
Oh, shit.
Henry,
Are we here?
where are we at?
I'm nervous.
You should be.
Yeah. This is the part where you get nervous.
What
for
is really going on?
Yeah,
right now?
you're fucked.
This is the Rapid Fire Rampage.
Why did you have to do it in that voice?
So what?
Exactly.
It's called the Rapid Fire Rampage. There's going to be 3 parts to it. I'll explain them as we go. We're just going to start off with some short answer
Is this
questions.
like a game?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. It is.
I'm scared.
This is everyone's favorite part.
If this is something where like I need to think fast, like
Yes,
it is.
absolutely.
fuck.
That's
Yeah,
the
you-
part.
I'm
Yes.
losing.
That's why I said. That's why I said you're fucked.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just how fast you answer. Really, is the
Alright.
only key. There, you can't say anything wrong.
Fuck.
There's some that are more right than others, though. Wouldn't you say?
Opinion wise.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, let's get it started here.
Just saying.
Starting with.
That scream is crazy.
It's wild.
He says Rampage because that's what this is. Rampage! Yeah. SadBoi, what is your spirit animal and why?
I've never even thought of that.
Well, now you have to think of it.
Throw one out there.
My spirit animal? I would say a cheetah.
Ooh.
Any reason why?
I feel like they're quiet and they're sexy.
Yeah, there you go. Very good.
They are those things.
Who is an artist that you secretly listen to? You've never told anyone, but you jam.
Secretly listen to? Mm-hmm. Baby Sosa.
Ooh. What do you want to accomplish before you retire?
Everything.
Not one stone unturned, Henry.
Cryptic, yeah, kind of answer. We'll take it. What do the videos on your IG Explorer look like right now?
Animals.
Ooh.
Cheetahs.
Some cheetahs? What other animals? What kind
No, it's like dogs, cats.
Yeah.
Monkeys.
You're on the pet gram.
I really love animals.
Yeah. So this my spirit animal question was pretty good.
I really love animals.
Cool. Sounds good. When's the last time that you did something for the first time? Crazy one.
The last time that I did something for the first time?
That sounds like a riddle.
The last time that I did something for the first time?
It's deep. I got good questions.
Okay, chill out.
Yeah. The last time that I did something for the first time, maybe when I hid my vape from my mom.
Ooh.
Damn, I did that a few times too.
That's a good one.
And my mom's not even my manager.
This is called Ideal Audio. We're going to craft the perfect song. You're going to A&R the perfect song. You can have any artists, any producers, any writers, alive or dead. What is your perfect song?
My perfect song? Like,
right.
Is it a song that, like, already out that I feel like is, like, perfect?
Just no, you get to make the song.
You're matching together, like,
who's on it?
Any number of people to make, like, you know, like Michael Jackson and Kanye West. Like,
don't coach her,
Can
bro.
I say that?
Someone said that, I think, last episode. I took it from Trade Tracks, I think.
Making the perfect song.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna and Prince.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Are you on there?
Featuring SadBoi, right?
Featuring SadBoi.
Yeah.
Okay. Produced by?
Timbaland.
Produced by?
And Quincy Jones.
1985.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
Stop giving your answers. This isn't fucking for you, bro. This is the SadBoi interview.
This section doesn't involve you at all. So I can just turn your mic off right now. Actually, I have control of that over here. So
what the fuck?
How's it feel now?
Is this thing on?
Okay, we're moving on to the this or that portion. So I'm just going to give you two choices. You just got to pick one. Here we go. Starting with Toronto or Atlanta?
Toronto.
Hooks or verses?
Hooks.
Drums or melodies?
Melodies.
Drums or flats?
Oh, fuck. I was like, what type of music thing is that? You're talking about wings.
I am.
Flats.
Yes.
God damn it. Give my mic back, bro.
If you promise to use it.
I promise, bro.
Right, turn your mic back.
I'm back, folks.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos. Oh, both.
Both on.
Tattoos.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta pick one. Go to outer space or an underwater city?
Outer space. I am not going no underwater thing.
Me neither, I think, yeah. Hot guy or rich guy?
Hot guy or rich guy? Honestly, I kind of like ugly guys, so I'll just go with rich guy.
Perfect.
I don't even.
Ben, shut up.
Yeah.
I turned your mic back on so you would behave.
We can't unpack that right now.
Yeah.
SadBoi, I have a magic coin. Okay. I flip it. If it's heads, your next release goes platinum. If it's tails, you go blind in one eye. Do you flip the coin?
I don't flip the coin.
Don't flip the coin. Need that vision. She's gonna earn it. She's gonna earn that platinum record.
She ain't doing it on a
old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Love it. And final question is: become a full-time country artist or leave the music industry?
Country artist. I love country music.
Let's go.
Everyone's loving country these days.
Country's
making
coming up.
a comeback, bro.
It is. It's kind of sick.
God.
All right, we're moving into the final section. It is the word association. This is where you have to think the fastest and respond the quickest.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say one word. And you just gave me the first word right back.
This is like the shit that I'm bad at.
Perfect. This is going to be the best section.
I hope we go viral for it.
Oh, fuck.
No thought. First word.
Worst rapid fire rampage of all time.
I have high hopes. Starting with R&B.
Summer Walker.
Marriage.
Skepta.
Love
See?
it. Yeah. Great.
There we go.
Purple.
Candy.
Pimple.
Ew.
Pimpin'.
No thanks.
I'll get off the P thing.
Bro, what the fuck is this alliteration you got
Pimpin',
going
I'm
on?
like-
Moving on.
Pimple to pimpin' to...
I'm just supposed to say random words, right?
Yeah, first word you think of.
Okay.
No wrong answers. X.
Hate him.
Lawyer.
I don't know.
Butterfly.
In love.
Lil.
Daddy.
Little daddy.
TikTok.
That's what I have to say.
Just Sad.
Boy.
Let's go.
She's like, this is too obvious.
I thought
I'm not falling for this one, Henry.
No. I thought you had like this like voice thing that said "sad boy." So like I was waiting for it.
The
That's
custom
why I was
sound
like,
effect. We should do that.
Damn,
Yeah.
we're not that.
I thought you guys were gonna have like when I said "boy."
No,
No,
So I was just like waiting. I was like, is he gonna press it? I'm like, oh
I
me.
fucked up.
let's tell our producer to do that next time.
No, seriously.
You guys should.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll take a note.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's being recorded.
Okay, well,
we're good.
We'll send him the audio.
Yeah.
You guys
All right,
definitely should.
this has been your favorite crybaby. This has been SadBoi.
Yes.
You did it.
I know.
You got through it.
We didn't know if you had it in you to,
know. I
talk
wasn't-
to people for an extended period of time.
I wasn't that bad.
You were great.
You were great.
It was fun.
Yes,
had
we
fun.
appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for coming.
As always,
Thank you.
please like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
Drop us a review if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, any other podcast platform.
Boom.
We're here every fucking week.
Boom.
Henry, until next week, what are we doing?
We're getting out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Pop that shit like one more time. And pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one